Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spanish Grand Prix in F1 2019. I messed up the intro there a little bit, but it doesn't matter, we're going to roll with it. There are messages for us to read. MS says that if we get 13th or above in the next two races, we actually get 400 resource points, which is the easy team target for each Grand Prix, the team goal. And we also have Carl saying the weekend preview of who's going to achieve well and whatsoever. There is an engine power upgrade that just fitted on the car, and there was another message about just random stuff. If you look at the contract thing, I think we got it last race, right? We actually do have some nice things on it right now. Looking at all the my value to the team compared to the value of our contract, and we're looking at it right now. But we're looking at this oil pressure pump upgrade for the engine power, which is a major upgrade, and we're just going to buy that real quickly. So yeah, that's going to take 3 weeks for it to do its thing, and we're just gonna go off to practice. I think we've done that, right? So yeah, message is just the usual with the weather forecast, just casual things and stuff. But yeah, we've done practice. That was after practice, and now we're off to qualify.
Really hectic qualifying as the teams compete to set the best lap times. This is a track that tends to ask quite a lot of the tyres, both front and rear. So is it fair to say a great deal of management will be needed in order to do well here?
Tyre wear is always something you have to consider to a certain degree. Finding a good car balance that suits the circuit will help prolong the life of the tyre, but it's true that some circuits, such as this one, are more challenging than others. How hard you can push them depends on your strategy and how tight the battle is around you.
So we are in Q1 setting our bank lap time. For the first time, we are currently in P16, but dropping every second that we are not setting a lap for now. This is obviously the second half of our bank lap, just going through the chicane, slowing down for the corner, actually cutting that corner by a mile, getting a warning for it as well. But it actually gets us quite a bit of pace, and we actually post a lap that was good enough for P5, and in the second lap at the end of Q1 we cut the chicane once again, just getting a bunch of time, just wanting to make it into Q2, and it seems we have, so that is going to be magnificent. And if we get this time in Q2 as well, then that would mean that we get to progress into Q3, and as I say that, we actually get to progress to Q3 because it was 9th place for us now. So yeah, at the end of Q2, Lando Norris is actually going out in P14, so if no one gets a penalty in this race, Lando's going to start from P14, which is it's not the best, but it's not the worst position he could have had in qualifying as well. After all, we did get out of Q1, so yeah, good for him. But for now, for me, it's P9, and I'm just going to come across in Q3, come across the finishing line to see that I get to start from 8th. So we went from Q1, which was 10th position, to Q2, which was 9th, to Q3, which was 8th, and actually get to finish qualification on 8th place. So we were always in the top 10 for all the qualifying sessions. So that's pretty good for us right now. It just shows that we do have the pace, and it's looking really good for us right now. Well, let's look at the results in terms of rivalry. I'm actually going to get 4 points, 2 on each rivalry, but I'm seemingly going to lose the rivalry against Lando. But against Weber, are we losing? I didn't get to see. I think we're actually winning, or going to be winning sometime soon, possibly. So we get 181 resource points for that session, which actually chucks our resource points quite far up the grid, and our engineer Jeff is very happy with our qualifying performance. which is, you know, really good for us. So let's look at the messages, which is just a pre-race, you know, data collecting kind of thing. And my value with the team has went up significantly, so if we renegotiate our contract anytime soon, we will be in a really good position to get a good contract. But without any further ado, let's go to race.
What does the Spanish Grand Prix have in store for us today, I wonder? I hope we see some tight wheel-to-wheel action down the main straight, circa Mansell and Senna way back in '91. Or maybe we'll have a more strategic race here on a track where overtaking can be difficult. The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, a track that will certainly force the drivers to push themselves. It consists of a very impressive main straight going into turn 1. It's a straight that also offers a DRS zone, so it's likely to be a hot spot for overtakes. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Let's talk briefly about Lando Norris. As with all the drivers at this level, they have a lot of ambition, but Formula One's a daunting step up from any other series, so expectations are high right from the start.
And this is something that has ended the career of many a young driver, as that leap up to Formula One proves to be too much. But luckily in this case, I'd say they're doing a good solid job, and the risk the team took in signing them is definitely starting to pay off.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Max Verstappen and Hülkenberg, Gasly, Moore, Weber and Daniel Ricciardo, Butler, Perez, Kevin Magnussen and Norris, Grosjean, Russell, Robert Kubica and Kimi Raikkonen. Giovinazzi and Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
See if you can make it a points finish today.
I will certainly try, Jeff. Do not worry about it. So, in terms of the strategy today, yeah, I messed up the strategy because I went out in Q3 to set our bank lap time on a Q2 tyre compound, which obviously makes us have to start in the race on the tyre that you've started on in qualifying 2. So that's not looking too good, but 5 red lights, and away we go for the Spanish Grand Prix of 33 laps, and we got mugged off significantly off the line by 3 positions even, so it's not looking very good for us. Well, we aggressively take that position back from Butler, and we are in P9, just about catching the back end that just wanted to jump out of my car in a minute. But you know, lap 1, Weber's actually pulling away quite far, but so you know, we're going to try and catch him, but we weren't able to in this or the next lap, it seems, because we are on lap 2, going on to lap 3, going into the pits for our first stop of the day, obviously because I messed up my strategy really badly in qualifying. So, you know, we're going to be last place, so hopefully we can get a point scoring position in this race by coming back at it from, you know, a longer strategy race, or stopping early might mean that, you know, we're not going to have any competition, we're not going to be slowing down by other cars, so, you know, because other people are in traffic right now, but we might not be, as Romain Grosjean is out of this race with an engine failure, it seems, as we are on board with Kimi Raikkonen, just looking at Grosjean's on board, or you know, just, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, as Daniel Ricciardo is also in the pits, so he might have messed up the strategy as well, or had some kind of front wing damage, I do not know, but he comes out behind me, which would indicate to me that I'm actually you know, making up some time with the strategy, which means it works, so we're actually catching up to people, which is really good to hear. But Lucas Weber is also in front of me, just going out of the pits, so we're going to cut to lap 9, where other people are also in the pits, possibly, I think. No, it's just because Daniel Ricciardo decided to fly past me in the straight, and you know that's that. So there's not much to say about that. It was a very nice move, and we can't actually make it back into the turn one as we got the corner there a little bit, because I didn't want to spin out into turn one. But you know, lap 10, that's the next lap. I get DRS. He got those two because Lucas Weber is right in front of him, and hopefully we can make a move down to turn one, down into turn one, going down his inside, and we will certainly try as we bash his side a little bit, but not get any penalties, warnings, or damage, which is, you know, already looking really good. So it is in terms of racing, but we catch up to Giovinazzi just in front of him. You know, we are in traffic right now, but yeah, it was a nice move against Giovinazzi, and Albon on the next lap just going to make a move down his inside. That was really aggressive. I should have gotten a penalty or a warning for that move, but I did not, and I'm really sorry for Albon for doing that to him. But yeah, that was way too aggressive to do. Anyway, Russell on to 3 laps later, I think it is, when I caught up with him, and once again I'm going really aggressively into the hairpin. So it seems like I'm not driving very safely today as we shove him out to the gravel trap, and he lost quite a bit of time, but Kubica is right in front of us now in lap 14, as we will get the DRS, and he's been holding me up for quite a while now, so I might just make an aggressive move down the inside, just, you know, the dive bomb from China down to USA. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, it was quite a nice move actually. So let's have a look at the replay of it, as we, you know, didn't touch whatsoever. It was quite a nice move, but I've dive bombed him from downtown. It was a very nice move. But now to lap 15, I've actually retained P12 in this race, as Weber, I think, just came out of pits, and Daniel Ricciardo once again flies past us in a straight, which is not very good, but he's miles in front of me into turn one, so it's very interesting. But Weber actually holds him up, my, you know, F2 teammate, doing me an absolute favour and a half, as he actually tries to defend me into the corner, and Daniel Ricciardo locks up, but he turns into us anyway once we actually get turned into the corner. So it's lap 17, going really fantastically, trying quite well, as it's Nico Hülkenberg in P10, just taking the last point scoring position of the day so far, as we actually come into the pits for our second stop of the day, and I believe it is the last stop of the day. But you know, everything's been going quite well. I'm in front of Daniel Ricciardo, I'm in front of Weber. For now, Lucas actually held him up quite a long time, so that's really good for us as Lando goes past us in the pits. Hopefully we will be able to come out behind him, so we don't lose too many positions, as we might be able to come out in front of Albon, but it might have to be a dive bomb into turn one, but it isn't. We come out for a few seconds in front of Albon, so that's pretty good to see. It's good to see that, as it is lap 24 when the virtual safety car actually comes out. For some reason that is not being told me right now. Kimi Räikkönen is out of the race. That is the reason for the virtual safety car to come out. Let's have a look at the replay from George Russell. He just had another, you know, another engine issue, just like Grosjean. And this is Daniel Ricciardo making a move on Alexander Albon. I believe either him or Lucas Weber, because, you know, they're the two Toro Rosso drivers. But for now, it was Lucas Weber, as it is now lap 33. In the last like 10ish laps, nothing really happened. So it's Lando Norris in P11 and me taking P12 in the Spanish race. We had a nice fight with Lucas Weber and Daniel Ricciardo all the way through the race, and we actually come out on top with quite a few seconds of lead, so it was quite a nice race with them.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Fermé. What a fantastic race it was. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today and the results speak for themselves.
Ferrari are at it again, an excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. So, let's review the drivers' standings. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has been...
So, in this race, Lando Norris actually comes up to P11 from 14, and we drop 4 positions in this race. But if you look at Lando's strategy, he actually made one stop only with Sergio Perez, who got P5 from P12 as well, and you know, Gasly got 3rd from whatever place by doing the one stop. So it seems like one stop was the strategy to go by today, but obviously not when you need to pit after 2 laps. So I have compromised my own strategy as Alfa Romeo and Haas exchange positions in the Constructors' Championship for now. So hopefully we can rack up some nice little points and actually end up doing really well.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. That was a close race with Lucas.
We do know each other's groups quite well actually, so the joke's on you. We learnt from each other, so it's quite nice.
Devon did much better in today's race than he did in qualifying. Were you expecting that?
Devon is quite an aggressive man, so sure, he does make some really nice overtakes, especially since he came to F1, but God knows.
You had a close battle today, didn't you?
Not really, but we came one after each other, so I don't think I've actually seen Lando in this race, so, you know.
Great, well that's everything.
Okay, so in terms of the results in the rivalry breakdown, Lando actually gets 4 and I get 2, meaning he is 3 away from winning the rivalry, and we are 2 points behind Lucas Weber, as we both get 3 points, so nothing happened in terms of the rivalry there after the race. So yeah, let's have a look at the resource points, which we get 234 of which equals a total of 960, and our reputation with the teams are going up and our respect level and whatsoever, you know, the sportsmanship and everything. So that's looking pretty nice, and just let's have a look at some of the race. Yes, challenges, invitational events, blah blah blah. Okay, so let's have a look at the messages for now. We get a debrief from Carol, we get an invitational event, and 2 transcripts from Emma for now, which obviously, as I said before, you can stop and have a read out if you'd like. I'm not going to read it out because it would take so long and so much you know, effort for me to actually read it. Plus I can't read it, I'm looking at a small screen or whatever, but feel free to stop it at any time. But I am going to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like to press the like button, don't forget to comment, please comment on whatever you'd like, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button so you don't miss any new uploads today. And you know, with that, I'm going to leave you with the race highlights, and I'm going to say my goodbyes, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.